As the saying goes, if you can't beat them, join them, and it appears the Premier has done just that. Kristina Keneally says she and the Treasurer will appear at the inquiry into the sale of the state's electricity assets later this month. That's despite her protest that the inquiry is illegal. The Premier maintains it does not have the power to compel witnesses to appear or to protect them from defamation. Still, it sets up a legal showdown if the main targets of the inquiry, the 8 directors who resigned, refuse to show up.
Kristina Keneally issued a statement announcing her backdown, but seemed determined to avoid the cameras until she had the backdrop of flood preparations in the state's north.
Yeah, very good as you.
Hundreds of kilometres away, she got as close as it gets to admitting a mistake.
I underestimated the level of public interest in these transactions, and I acknowledge that.
And it's a far cry from her earlier comments.
The Crown Solicitor described such action by a standing committee as unconstitutional.
Barry O'Farrell says the opposition was nearly unanimous.
Put your hand up if you're backing Kristina Keneally. I'm not even sure the family were.
She's just admitting reality and turning up to the inquiry like she always should have.
But while Parliament remains prorogued, question marks still hang over whether the committee has the power to compel witnesses to appear and whether those witnesses will have the normal protection of parliamentary privilege. The Premier maintains there is a risk none of the powers will exist, but gave no directive to public servants.
They will be free to make up their own minds about whether or not they attend the committee.
The Greens now want the Premier to unprorogue Parliament to remove any doubt.
She can set down a session of Parliament in February, we can have the inquiry, then she can approach the Governor and prorogue it again before the Parliament comes back and sits. That will give the inquiry all the power it needs.
It's already had all the publicity it ever wanted.
And state political reporter Matt Wordsworth joins us now from Macquarie Street. Matt, this has been a spectacular about-face.
Yeah, that's right, Jeremy. Probably the biggest since the CBD Metro was scrapped back in February last year. But one Labor MP I spoke to said she had no choice. It was a classic case of the cover-up being worse or appearing worse than the original crime. And he says that it left an impression with the people of New South Wales that she had something to hide.
Matt, talk us through how this is going to work, because Kristina Keneally's been saying up till now that this inquiry was unconstitutional.
Well, we're going to have 2 days of hearings later this month, Jeremy, and there's going to be a list of witnesses who will appear. That list will be finalised next week. They'll appear over the 2 days. It's still unclear as to whether they'll have the privileges that they need to protect them from defamation and contempt. That could still be played out in the courts, and then the report will be issued at the end of the month.
State political reporter Matt Wordsworth at Macquarie Street. Thank you.